Overwatch Apex Season 3, energized by Hot 6, Round Robin. Today's matchup, EnVyUs, Rhinos Gaming Wings.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the marquee matchup of the evening. Team EnVyUs against Rhinos Gaming Wings. EnVyUs with the upset reverse sweep against Meta Athena. Now one of the big favorites to get out of this group, and the favorites this evening, and what could be another one-sided match, Achilleos.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I don't think it's going to be nearly as one-sided as our first matchup there. Flash Slugs just getting absolutely stomped out by Conbox Spirit. You know, sub-hour of gameplay time there. Really for that set to be finished. But Rhinos Gaming Wings, can they put up a stronger fight by comparison? Absolutely. Do I expect them to win this? Definitely not. EnVyUs come into this one clear favorites. It was a very shaky start as they went up against Meta Athena just a week ago. But, you know, Effect finally showing up in that set, just absolutely started tearing people apart. And you know, finally proving himself as well. We weren't sure with the changes going through, Hulk not being on the team anymore, Harry Hook being moved over to support, Effect coming through, Louis on, you know, sub as well. Haven't seen him yet, but we weren't sure how those roster changes were going to affect the squad, but it still seems like Envy is going to be a dominating force.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone was saying Rogue was going to be the foreign hope, if you will, in terms of the West always looks at Korean tournaments, right? And then Rogue, you know, had a tough group, right? They're not out of it yet, right? But when EnVyUs came in, everyone's like, well, how are they going to do in this group? They're going to really struggle. And EnVyUs feels good, man. That's right.
Perfect.
Very well said. But when you look at the results so far of EnVyUs, when they went down 0-2, like we were talking about earlier, the internet just sighed and said, well, I knew it. They weren't going to do that well. And the hype mind effect wasn't there. And then he turned it up in the last 3 games. Kai went in the booth, did that tactical pause, and we saw this immense growth in terms of player skill. I'm sure Doe would love that drawing. But we saw a totally different EnVyUs in sets 3 to 5 than we did in the first 2, especially starting with Volskaya. Taimu fan and a Mickey fan here as well.
Fists of Fury, I guess, coming through there from Taimu.
But, yeah, they're hardcore fans.
They're raring to go. They want to get this set underway, as do I. I'm ready to see this one happen, honestly. Rhinos Gaming Wings, you know, able to pick up that one map versus BK Stars as Volskaya for him. Again, if you haven't seen that one, they ran the quad DPS, and I'm talking about quad DPS with, you know, something like a Torbjorn. They had Sombra in the mix. It was McCree Soldier, Sombra Tracer, I believe, was the ones that we had coming through from there. So changing things up was the first time that we'd seen that quad DPS so far during this season. Maybe we'll see it again today, but you have to expect that EnVyUs, you know, they've done their research. You have to have that much faith, at least in Kai as the coach, to have watched that game. So they should know that that is something up the sleeve of Rhinos Gaming Wings that they can pull out.
Absolutely, and you know, I feel like Effect has given a lot more room for Taimu as a player because it means that Mickey can be more aggressive, babysit him less, because it feels like Effect is winning the Tracer battles every time. And Umte is known as a fairly weak Reinhardt player, so if he's going to be playing the Reinhardt today, we're going to see Effect try to get in the back line and pulse bomb him to knock him out of the fight, as we saw several times, especially that everyone's seen that clip on Hollywood where it felt like Effect was invisible. But yeah, I mean, I look at this series as Rhino's opportunity to really upset, and, you know, they're here in front of the Korean audience, right? Let's talk about that in a little bit because we're going to this video first.
Effect, who had never played on LAN, everybody was kind of nervous, but in the end, everything went perfectly. We came back to Korea with one thing in mind. We want to be the champions again, and we're going to go back to the US as champions.
라이너스 게이밍 윙즈도 순간적인 파괴력과 포커싱 이런 부분에서의 위력은 다소 아쉬운 결과를 만들었습니다.
저희가 좀 그 3탱에 대한 좀 부심 같은 게 좀 있었던 것 같아요. 좀 자만했다 해야 되나 3탱으로 다 이길 수 있다고 생각했었는데 아닌 것 같아요. 저는 솔직히 성적이 안 좋아요. 요즘 다시 연습하고 있으니까 계속 봐주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 엔비어스는 딱히 걱정이 없어요. 솔직히 좀 못하는 것 같아가지고 딱히 걱정을 안 했어요. 라인 쓰는 팀한테는 안 질 자신 있어가지고 3대1 같은 거 아니에요.
에리스까지 끌어줍니다. 타이머. 다 죽습니다. 와, 포커싱 말 포커싱 미쳤어요. 안 없어요. 안 없어요.
이펙트 선수가 그나마 좀 신경 쓰이는 것 같아요. 저희 팀이 이제 트레이서에 좀 약해서 그 선수가 좀 경계돼요.
We played Grims with effects, and we barely lost any maps. We have our comp set for every map, every team. How confident are we? I think I'd be really surprised if we give them a point.
그러니까 저희가 3템만 잘 쓰는 팀이다라고 3딜은 안 될 거다라고 생각하시는데 솜브라 같은 것도 연구해왔고 아길도 쓰고 그러려고 그냥 이길 것 같은데 3딜은. 좋은 성적 내서 항상 팬분들 웃게 해드릴게요.
I think the biggest thing is that people forget is that we have been a championship level team. Us going through as the first seed is going to be 1,000,000%.
Well, got started by that video there, but you know, EnVyUs the big favorites here. And what I was going to say is that Rhinos, this is a big opportunity to upset and regain the favor of the Korean fans. They're playing here with a domestic audience that's cheering against them. Most people here in this crowd are EnVyUs fans here, even in Seoul, Korea, at our esports stadium. So it feels tough, you know, it feels like the world's against you. EnVyUs looks on for them. They're Apex champions.
Yeah, you know, coming back from Season 1, been here throughout the run of it now, going to be trying to have another victory. You know, Taimu's saying that they want to come back and they want to take that championship yet again where they fell short in Season 2. But strong fighting words from the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings. And, I mean, you have to put your money where your mouth is, really, when it comes down to that. So they need to have one hell of a performance here today. They already, you know, said that, you know, we're weak against Tracer. That's going to be a massive thing that can be abused by Envy. They expect a 3-1 victory for themselves. Taimu says, we're not even going to give them a single map.
Well,
so, strong words on both sides, but you still have to favor it very much to Envy coming into this set.
I would have to agree that their team is weak to Tracer. Effect has punished Reinhardt in the past, and I feel like Umte on the Reinhardt, he hasn't played it much this season, but in the past he's been a fairly weak Reinhardt player. Players want to stay away from that in terms of dealing with Effect on the Tracer, want to run that more mobile Winston that everyone else has picked up right now. All the top teams and coaches saying on stream even, you know, it discusses quite a bit. Winston's actually the most important hero right now. So Umte, I feel like, is going to have to step it up on the Winston. And Oxo as well. I just feel like, you know, when you compare the Tracers, Oxo's a more defensive player, and Effect is hyper-aggressive. So we're going to look for Oxo to try to counteract Effect's aggressive dive-ins, whereas Oxo's going to be probably protecting the DPS, Envy, Fury. So see how this one pans out, man. But I do worry, especially because they have such confidence within the series, but they're also willing to admit that the weakness is the Tracer, which is by far the strength of EnVyUs. It's not just about the Effect picks where he goes in and gets kills. It's about the pressure that puts on the tank, puts on the backline, and then this allows Taimu to find a good angle to get that tack visor. And these are the things that I feel like EnVyUs has really perfected overseas, and now coming back into Korea. They haven't been here for very long, but now they've had even more time to scrim with Korean teams, more time to play on the Korean ladder, play the competitive, and this is the most competitive server, man. I really do have to state that. So they look prepared and ready, but that was when Effect didn't have LAN experience. They hadn't been here that long. Now that they've got both of those things, plus a amazing momentum in that comeback win against Meta Athena, it's a titan of an opponent to face at EnVyUs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very fine line you have to tread when it comes down to being confident. And Rhinos Gaming Wings, I think that they might have just spilled over that line into complacency, because that can really punish you. If you go down the first map, suddenly all that confidence gets shattered, your mental state just gets absolutely ruined, and then you tilt your way into a loss. So they need to be able to bounce back from that. They need to be able to perform and back up such strong words that they were able to tout in that interview.
I mean, this is a team that won Apex, won MLG Vegas, and several members of the roster on World Cup teams. I mean, this team is just, in terms of accomplishments, already vastly better, and I can understand where Rhinos Gaming's perspective comes from looking at Season 2. It was a weak season for EnVyUs. It was a transitional period, but they've already looked like they are coming back strong. Chips running the Sombra as well, so watch out for that on 2-point capture, especially their Volskaya tactics. were what started the comeback actually last week against Meta Athena. So they've got that in their back pocket.
Yeah, and you can see here, talking about that quad DPS, the flex that we saw, it was actually Mango swapping over to the likes of the Tracer. So we've seen a bit of flexibility from him. The Torbjorn as well had come through on that side. So they have a couple things, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to surprise Envy. I think that they will be prepared, having done their research, for anything that really Rhinos can offer up. And already going to dive straight into our first battleground. It's going to be Nepal starting us off.
Nepal, definitely a much better map historically for EnVyUs, so luck of the draw here, definitely going in their favor to even start things off. Like, it'd be unfortunate for Rhinos Gaming Wings, doesn't have a lot of experience on this map. This map is kind of, in terms of televised matches, kind of randomly drawn, so you don't really get to choose this. So this ends up just being kind of lucky for EnVyUs. We'll see how they want to run this one. The triple DPS can be very strong even on Sanctum.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I love the most about EnVyUs as a team is that they're always smiling, especially when it's between Mickey and Taimu. These guys are always having a good time. And then you take a look at Rhinos, and they're just, very focused in on the game. They don't want to show any emotion. They just want to be fully prepared for what's ahead.
But we are going to go into what's ahead right now. It's Nepal. Game number 1 between EnVyUs and Rhinos Gaming Wings.
I get it.
All right, well, like you said, plenty of EnVyUs fans out here today. Wolf, majority of the audience definitely going to be favoring them. So they come in on paper favorite as well as the backup from the crowd.
And after, really until, I should say, that 3-2 reverse sweep, a lot of people might have thought otherwise, just because of the Season 2 performance. Rhinos Gaming Wings coming up, looking stronger than Titan, and changed up their roster, bringing Umte in. EnVy looked pretty good overall to start things off. So you might not have thought that EnVyUs would be so massively favored, even though they are Apex champions, until that reverse sweep. And now the hype is back for this team from the West. And we're going to see Envy running the Sombra to start things off here as we move into Shrine.
Try to be as clear as possible. Envy on the Sombra. EnVyUs coming in on the other side of things. Taimu is operating on that McCree. So it's going to be the 2-2-2 from them with Coco in onto the Winston, and then Mickey on that Diva, his namesake. Into the back line goes Envy, looking for a pickoff for the chips, and with the help of Fury, they actually come up with it. That's going to be 3 pickoffs coming through for the Wings as they go ahead and they pile in onto the point as it becomes available. Should get that first cap coming through very swiftly. And just some surprise kills. They'll finish off Mickey right at the end as well. So very strong showing to start things off with this triple DPS.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really about the Sombra. Sombra just hacked a bunch of health packs, harassed a little bit. It's not an amazing hack play or some sort of crazy dive. It's just some supplementary healing. Sombra kind of a half DPS, half support. That's why she's normally played by the support players. But it's Mango once again flexing onto the Tracer, showing his ability to play DPS here. Stun misses actually on him right now. Taimu's having some trouble.
Yeah, not going to find that flashbang, so can't lock him in for that pretty much guaranteed headshot, at least when you're Taimu playing the McCree. It's just about a guaranteed one.
There's
he
one.
Jumps in to try to contest, but gets taken down very swiftly. And finally, EnVyUs firing back, looking for that retake here. This is about 35% on the meter so far for Wings. They will get it. A team wipe coming through as well. EnVyUs building up towards a couple ultimates, but Wings not too far behind.
That's right. Envy buying a lot of time there on the Sombra. Is going to stick with it, actually. Wants to look for another EMP. Effect's going to wait for the drop down for a kill. Has shown this several times already in the series against Meta Athena. His target will likely be Amy in the back line.
See a little bit more, so yeah, we'll just drop in here, try to build up that pulse bomb. Maybe he can stick down onto somebody like Umte. Pops out the recall, gets himself to safety. Meantime, Taimu just trying to snipe out from behind, sticking in behind his front line. Mickey and Coco being a nice big front wall, so they leap forward and take out Oxo.
Not everyone will play the McCree in a situation like this, but when you're as good as Taimu is at it and no one can harass you, you just get free headshots, you get free damage, not even needing the Deadeye here. He's willing to 1v1 a Tracer, he's willing to get into that risky position because he's so good on the hit scan that you just have to have someone in the, pressuring his backline there. And so far, Rhinos Gaming has not had that. Mango's just not been able to get in there and find damage.
Yeah, he's been able to set really really far back comfortably. And Discord Orb coming through just makes a prime target for that McCree. So good shots coming through, but now Wing's going to be looking for that retake. Push around coming in from the sidelines from EnVy. They drop down that EMP, and they actually find Taimu as Oxo pops out the tac visor, takes him down, looking for a little bit more as he just fires straight into the face of Coco, but won't be able to come up with a kill. Now looking for Effect, just dashing around in onto that Tracer. Self-destruct tossed out by Mickey. Not quite going to find anything here for him, but EnVyUs hold on to the point pretty firmly thus far.
Effect barely survives. It's actually super low. He's trying to find a health pack that's not hacked right now. Probably could have died and been back to full health by now. Looks like he's just going to chase Harry Hook. They're going to pair together for the heals, but Rhinos Gaming Wings don't have any tools to push this with anymore. They kind of blew everything, including that EMP.
Well, actually right there, what they wanted to do is they wanted to kite Effect back and actually give the heals over to Chip so he can build up for another Transcendence very quickly. So they give the move speed from Harry to actually get him in range for that, but now Rage coming through from the side of Umte.
Okay, here we go. We're going to see the Pulse Bomb carried here by Effect. This is going to be Rhinos Gaming Wings' last chance to make this work. Oxo does narrowly survive there. Looks like Fury had his back, and Effect is going to look for another angle now. Gets the pick here onto EnVy.
Yeah, Discord Orb helps him take that one down, but EnVy do suffer a couple of kills, but they are more than winning out on these exchanges. Nobody in on the point as Fury kites back. Pops that self-destruct, but to no avail, isn't there to contest, and EnVy will go ahead and pick up Shrine.
There you go. So definitely tough to commentate EnVyUs versus EnVy. We're doing our best professionals here. So it just seemed like overall, Taimu was left to do what he wanted over and over and over again, and there was just no pressure on him. And as much as we sang the praises of Mongo being able to switch into the Tracer, even though he's mainly a support player, just wasn't enough there. And Coco just having his back too. This was a very one-sided first set in terms of DPS.
I mean, Mango overall looks pretty good on the Tracer, you'd have to say, for flexing off support. But when you're going up against Effect, there's just that much more added pressure there for it. Wings, unfortunately, do not get that victory for themselves, and now we move over onto Village as Taimu is swapped over onto this Pharah, already looking for Mango. Yeah, almost takes him out. The Biotic Grenade comes through, does keep himself alive, at least for the moment. And Taimu is still just sitting pretty, takes out Umte. You mentioned how much of a turnaround performance he was going to need on that Winston so far. Not going to be seeing it.
Look at
the rest of the team.
I mean, he's just
pretty big.
He's basically sitting back here. It almost feels like no one knows he's there. Already building up a pulse bomb, and he's going to drop it here pretty soon if he finds that angle. Taimu gets the finish off kill onto Oxo. This is going to be the first cap for EnVyUs, and trying to pick Amy off on his way out is Taimu. Still actually going to contest this. Mango not protected here. And look at this. Taimu is just coming in. He's ground Pharah, man. There's the rocket barrage. And Fury will get picked off as well. He does get taken out by Umte. This will surely be the capture.
I mean, yeah, they find so many picks with that one. Perfectly angled barrage. There wasn't too much threat there onto Taimu, so he could just layer it down and just takes out multiple members with the help of his team. Gets picked off at the end, but overall, very excellent performance from Taimu, opening things up with this Pharah.
It just,
Effect in the meantime, poking in from behind. Looking for a cheeky pulse bomb plant to delay Wings from pushing back in, but won't find it yet.
Effect is harassing EnVy, so he can't deal with the Pharah. Mango can't deal with the Pharah because the Pharah's killing the Mango. That's what we're seeing here. Taimu's just killing on himself. Pulse bomb comes in, doesn't connect actually. Looks like he might have been eaten by that D.Va defense matrix there, but he's still going strong in terms of damage. Does finally get taken out here. Chip's got the res. He's going to pop it here at the last second.
Yeah, pops it in through the ceiling, and it's just keeping everybody alive. That Primal Rage Winston just trying to smack him out of the sky, but Umte is not going to find too much here. And EnVyUs continue to hold on to the point. Self-destruct from Mickey, buying them some time as they maintain control, and then picking off Mango buys them even more. EnVy starting to push around the side, trying to get this retake off away from EnVyUs, but he just gets jumped on, piled on by so many people, miraculously stays alive. And that retake, that first cap, finally comes through for Wings.
It's really important, too, that they got res with it as well, so that's a pretty large bonus. Chip's only at 36% now. Things start to tick up here for Rhino's game, and they didn't have to use too many ults for that. See if Taimu wants to stick with the Pharah. He's actually nearly at another rocket barrage.
Very swiftly we'll have that, and then Chips, if you can just keep pocketing him, build up towards another res pretty quickly. Wasn't the most impactful res that we saw, but it's still just by the, a lot more time there for EnVyUs to hold on.
Nice barrier here actually coming up from Umte, going to deny a lot of that damage, but it does eventually get worn off. Self-destruct's going to get dropped out here. Does get the angle onto Harry, so good defensive ult here.
They find Chips as well, so both the support's going to be taken out, so EnVyUs just goes ahead. They kite back as a team trying to get themselves out to safety. Mickey, unfortunately, not able to do so, but honestly, getting killed was probably one of the best baits that he could have had. Wings certainly could have left him out in that Baby Diva form and forced him to either, run and jump off the map, which would have delayed even more.
So EnVyUs has a lot of ults to work with here with the res coming in. The scary part, though, is that they're only at 53. They really want to use everything for the retake.
They already buy some time here. Effect sneaks his way in. They get it to about 50%. Actually, Wings not in onto the point. They finally start recontesting here. As you can see, Umte and Fury pushing back in. Mickey gets popped out of the mech, gets taken out by that tac visor from Envy, who's firing away, finds a second one as he gets rid of Effect. Harry Hook goes down, and Wings are holding on strongly to this point. 75% for them. So close to a retake for EnVyUs, but they come up short. Do not find it. They invest quite a bit off of that push.
All that Harry Hook has is the sound barrier. The Effect is going to have a pulse bomb here to try to recap this, but Rhino Gaming's Wings just needs one more hold. Someone's going to have to delay here. This looks almost set. Oxo has the pulse bomb, and they do have Nano. There's a lot of different tactics that Rhino Gaming Wings can use to defend this. Here comes Effect in to try to get the sneak cap.
Yet again, looking for it. Playing very far forward here is Wings. So the cap getting ready to come through, but it gets stopped yet again. And Effect now getting slept down, will get taken out in the end. They get it so very close, but it comes up short. It goes down. Coco going to be answered. Either Winston getting taken out. Mickey tossing out that self-destruct in onto the point. That buys enough time here for EnVyUs to get in, but they still have suffered massive losses. 3 down. Self-destruct finds Chips. 4 as the respawns start to come through. Mickey trying to buy some time as he gets popped into the mech yet again. Tac visor used by Envy. Just there's no EnVyUs members nearby for him to take down.
Yep, just for good measure. Okay, Effect comes in for one last
that
deny.
boop just knocks Effect right out off the point.
Well,
And
Taimu spoke bold words in the interview. Didn't think they were going to get a point, get around. And Rhinos has already done that here on Village. Just having the better control early on. Actually, that retake around 50% was what swung it for them. They were able to hold it, and it just didn't feel like the reses were super impactful there from Chips. So sticking with the Mercy for a long time, sticking with the Ferret. Started off really well for Taimu, but perhaps should have switched earlier when they stopped finding Effect. And honestly, Umte's barriers were really well used. I felt like his zoning there, they underappreciated. He's just kind of finding the angles to where Taimu was trying to drop down those missiles and put up the barrier, protected his teammates to allow them to get those caps.
Oh, we're actually going to see the Sarisa coming through. Mickey going to be operating on this one this time. So
Sanctum.
no Diva for him. And yeah, I mean, Sanctum, a very good spot for it. Can get that massive drag with the halt and just pull people off the point. Taimu also going to be changing things up. Goes up for the Roadhog. Already gets a hook in onto Umte. The Biotic Grenade comes through, but it's still not enough to keep him alive. He gets taken out as Mickey finds the first blood so far to start things off.
And also, Ariza's just so good actually against Reinhardt in these positions because she has such a large clip. She can eventually just burst through that shield. So really helping to work against this Reinhardt battle. It's going to be the first cap for EnVyUs as a result. It's not the first time we've seen it. Plus the utility she has with the halt, as you mentioned. So I think going to be less and less of an itch pick. Oh,
already
the ball
finds
already.
it. Yeah, just drags him right off the point, takes him out. And all of Wings just having to kite back that Biotic Grenade coming through from Chips, denying out the healing. They help take down Oxo as Effect chases forward. And
all right, let's
we'll go
watch this
ahead.
again.
We'll get another look at this. Long range finds it, just yanks him right off.
I like how he looked at the ground before he died too. As if he was shocked and awed by the experience.
The Wile E. Coyote right there from Umte as he gets taken down. EnVyUs holding for him so far. 30% accrued for them as Wings start pushing and wrapping around from the left-hand side this time, but still multiple members of Envy playing very far forward. Pulse Bomb comes through from Effect, finds Mango. Could be the halt, but Harry Hook gets punished by that Flame Strike from Umte.
You can just see what Mickey's able to accomplish in terms of Reinhardt shield breaking, though. He's not going to obviously be able to protect his teammates alone, as there were several picks coming in. It was a good charge by Umte, but you can see just from his first-person view what he's gained, and we're going to see his ult come up in just a moment for that damage boost.
Well, now Wings have gone the offensive here. They do have that Graviton Surge ready to go if they want to toss it out, and they do so. All of EnVyUs just sucked in here. Chip's going to be the first one that goes down. Earth Shatter comes through, finds multiple members, locking them up, and they're just taking them down. Swinging away is Umte. A near team wipe now completed as EnVyUs gets taken out. Effect the last one to fall.
Now with a wipe on this map, you can actually hold this archway fairly easily, especially with Azaria. So now Rhinos Gaming Wings in great position to buy so much capture percentage here. Going to have Tac Visor in just a moment and the self-destruct. We see Halt trying to yank them up into the air. It's not going to be successful. Here comes the self-destruct, and it's a triple there with Umte.
Mickey misplacing the barrier, doesn't block it out for himself, and just absolutely get destroyed. Fury coming up with multiple kills. EnVyUs gets stomped out yet again at this archway. As you say, so hard to push through here. EnVyUs do have multiple ultimates available for themselves, including the boost from Mickey, who's actually going to
Effect's gonna come from behind.
Effect comes down, fells out that pulse bomb, finds Envy. Now looking for more as he dashes through into Undaunted, but the biotic grenade comes through, so he has to recall out. With 70% now accrued here for Wings, it's been a fantastic hold for them so far. Got them a decent enough lead. Can they hold off this retake? Looks like the boop's coming through. Fury gonna go ahead, drive himself off the map with the help of that boop from Harry.
Harry actually gets the boop and the kill onto Mango, so there'll be some desync spawns here coming out from Rhino's Gaming Wings. The key coming up for them is going to be the Graviton Surge yet again. So actually,
I'm still a ways away from it, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at somebody like Hoon, who is so good at that Zarya, building up that ulti charge very swiftly. Envy going to be considerably further behind, just at 60% now.
Coco
Needs to
also
play this out really well.
Coco with the Earth Shatter. Once that shield goes down, that's what Mickey's trying to work out right now. Look, you can see that Orisa fire. He's just trying to knock down the Rhino shield so we can get that angle to come in.
Yeah, the whole hog as well is being expected to try to knock that one down. Coco right now just swinging his way through. Sound barrier used by Harry Hook, keeping his team topped off. Maintain control over the point, retake the lead so far.
Oh, there's the
Coming
hook on
through, they find
Umte.
Umte, they drag him off the map. Taimu, massive pickoff coming through for EnVyUs. Might just be enough
man.
to help them hold on to this point.
It
That
looks
goes
like
forward.
it.
Pulse Bomb not going to find anything, but they still get multiple picks off Chips. Sniping out Oxo. Effect taking down Mango on the backside.
Earth Shatter just not needed here, Kilios.
They
Doesn't
can
look
just-
like.
They just hold on to it the entire time.
There you have it. They're going to take map number 1 here on Nepal. Just had the better composition overall. They used it so well. I was really worried for them when they lost control. They had the full wipe and the archways were held, but it was just Effect alone that was able to get the pulse bomb off, cause some disarray to allow them to break through. Had that failed, perhaps it's a totally different story and Rhinos actually wins the first map, but they put all their chips in one room, if you will. That basket, which was where there was so much damage potential for the pulse bomb. The self-destruct was really frustrating. You could tell Mickey's a little bit disappointed with his performance there, but he broke that Reinhardt shield with the Orisa so many times, which is just so difficult to deal with. And also the pulls onto Umte. Umte just got killed so many times, got picked off, and the rest was history.
I mean, honestly, outside of the barrier placement from Mickey, outside the archway that led to that triple kill off the self-destruct, that was pretty much the only poor thing we saw from him on the Orisa. Getting the yanks in onto Umte, just dragging him off, constantly just spamming through that shield with the help of Taimu. It was a really good performance there on the Orisa. I hope we see more of that as we move forward, not just on Nepal, but on other maps. But we'll have to wait and see. For now, getting ready for our hybrid map. What's it going to be? We saw Kings Row in our first set. Could just revisit that perhaps.
Yeah, it's one of the best maps for Rhinos, so pretty high chance that we go there, and that is in fact where we're going.
All right, so bringing this one back out yet again.
It's their best hybrid map historically, so no big shocker here, but this is a map that EnVyUs is also very experienced on, has played so many times. I mean, they have such a storied history, and Kings Row is one of the most classic maps in Overwatch. EnVyUs was playing as a squad before Eichenwald even existed, so if you think about it back then, things were very different. So much experience for this, and we could see some more of that Taimu Widow that everyone loves so much.
I mean, we got to see Gamsu use the Orisa on attack. Maybe we'll get to see it again here. I doubt it. It was that was pretty much a BM move. They had that, they had that game in the bag, but you never know. We've seen bastions all throughout Kings Row as well, so stranger things have happened, Wolf.
A lot of different weird compositions here. EnVyUs takes the narrow win on Nepal. Can they push themselves into match point as they go into Kings Row? Let's find out.
I get it.
All right, well, here we go. Welcome back to Kings Row. Visiting for the second time this evening. EnVyUs starting things off on defense. Taimu showing off that Junkrat, but something tells me that we should see a swap come through.
Yeah. Mickey grabbed the Widow before he could, so I guess this was the next best thing he could show the fans.
Yeah, he's just going to go say hello, perhaps.
I was hoping for the spray and the Haya, but guess not going to happen. Well, we've already seen Mickey's Orisa. I don't think we're going to see the Junkrat. As exciting as that would be, it would definitely give old Jeff a little hype moment. See Junkrat competitive play. Not going to be today. Sadly for the Junkrat mans out there, he's going to switch to the Soldier. So look for the Rhine defense. Mickey on the Diva as usual, so it's going to be the 2-2-2.
Yeah, nothing too shocking here from EnVyUs. So 2-2-2 definitely been what they have been looking at for the most part. We saw the triple DPS from them during their first set occasion, but mostly that 2-2-2 coming through. But now Wings pushing forward, going to be having that triple tank for themselves as Envy comes back in onto that Zarya yet again. Taimu operating on that high ground, just trying to rip through Fury's mech as quickly as possible. Wings Rocket's not quite going to get that connection. And Wings just all pile inside the hotel. They'll just exchange places. This is one of the more interesting attacks we've seen so far.
Oh, definitely so. They're actually kind of on the backside here. Hoon is showing us a lot how to play Zarya on this map. EnVyUs had some trouble with it. Doesn't seem like they're having as much trouble with Envy, but he's getting closer to that Graviton Surge. Now it's 72%. Keep an eye on that. They get the pick on the, Mickey's mech, which means no way to eat it.
He's 100 energy. Just burns through that shield. Coco has to drop it and goes down. So a nice little start here for Wings as they start to get that tick up coming through. Haven't quite gotten too much yet. Actually, the nano boost going in onto Effect of all people.
An interesting choice, perhaps a mistake there or a misclick, as Envy's now going to have it. And this is going to be a bad time for EnVyUs. He's at nearly full energy, not even needing this Graviton Surge. Just wants to knock Mickey out of the mech so he can use it if need be. But I don't think the case will be that he needs it if things continue like this.
I mean, they've gotten the first tick so far. They desperately want to hold on to these ultimates where they can. It seems like they'll be able to do just that as they go ahead, posture forward. EnVyUs going to have to concede this. So 2.5 minutes on that time bank here for Wings as they get the cap. 5 minutes now for the Streets phase to work their way to point B. EnVyUs right now only sitting on a couple ultimates, just the pulse bomb and that tac visor from Taimu. Everybody else can be further behind.
They actually were so ult efficient with this too. Like they only really use the nano. Ute's going to have the Graviton Surge soon, and we'll see if the Graviton Surge will go off here. The key is to kill Mickey beforehand. Effect's going to look for a pulse bomb behind.
It drops back down. Didn't quite get the recall to stick up into that high ground. So it does drop in. Dashes through, gets a pulse bomb in onto Umte beyond the shield. So it does take him out. Buying a little bit of time here as the payload is stopped up in that first archway. Chips swapping over onto that Zenyatta, not operating on the Ana anymore. Wants to be able to have those Discord orbs to break down these tanks very swiftly. You see there, as it was placed onto Umte, just helping out even further.
Yeah, we talked about this going into this series, how Umte is sometimes position-wise going to be vulnerable to Effect's Tracer. Okay, we'll see if Envy actually drops down this Graviton Surge to be a
really far forward here. The barrier's buying so much time for Mickey as he almost goes down. Finally does get popped out of that mech. Sound barrier is used here from the side of Wings. They take out Coco as well. So both the tanks here from EnVyUs getting broken down. Team gonna go ahead, kite back closer to point B, gather up, and then they'll push back in through the Streets phase. But Wings still have not had to use that Graviton Surge.
We might see some special tactics here. Okay, no, he's going to drop down. I was like, ooh, he wants to drop it off the high ground, surprise him.
Look at this payload. It is just
it's
steamrolling through.
It's chugging, man. This is a great push so far for the Wings here. Envy is spotted right now.
Honestly, the best thing right now for EnVyUs would be if Mickey could get an eat on that Graviton Surge. If he could go ahead and consume that for his team, that'd be a big turnaround opportunity for them in the fight.
Oh,
Header comes down, locks down to Effect being one of them. They push forward. Still haven't used the Graviton Surge yet, but Effect does go down in the end as Fury boops him out with the Diva mech. Back visor coming through from Taimu. Takes out Oxo. Graviton Surge coming through. Bang comes down. Only finds Coco. They're able to take out Harry Hook on the backside of that exchange. Taimu fighting his way back, still up on that high ground, and Chips in no man's land will get taken down. EnVyUs just suffering heavy losses on the Streets phase. Trying to fire back. They do pop Fury out of the mech, but Mickey gets taken down simultaneously elsewhere.
So the key here is hold that thought. Another pick here, attempt from Effect onto Umte. This just keeps happening. It happened so many times in the series against Meta Athena, and now Effect is looking to make this happen once again to remove that Reinhardt shield at the desync spawn. Umte was so far out there.
Yeah, that one was the combo. It actually made the Reinhardt turn, and then Taimu was able to take him out simultaneously. So decent work. There's still 2 minutes on the clock here for Wings. They push the payload pretty close, you'd have to say, towards point B, but now have limited options as far as their ultimates are concerned. Umte nearly with another Earth Shatter. Found the two-man that time around. Struck comes through, not really gonna find much, but Chips is able to snipe out Mango in the meantime. So a nice little opener to get rid of that support. Earth Shatter ready to go, tosses it out, only find Chips, but they kill him before he can get the charge off. Harry Hook coming to the rescue, takes out Umte, and now Wings jumps all the way back towards point A, still getting picked off as Taimu and Effect just wreak havoc on their squad.
Effect's gonna hold on to this pulse bomb. That was a really amazing angle that was kind of given to Umte because he was knocked into that position, but he was so low, there was no way he was going to be able to get the charge off there. So that's another ult wasted on the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings. He decides to switch over to the Winston now. Doesn't feel like this Reinhardt is working out for him anymore. And this push had so much momentum. You were talking about how the push was basically flying. And now it's definitely a totally different story here. Taimu on the high ground now. Going to look to knock out this Diva before he pops the attack visor.
Still has it. You can see Fury just trying to be as annoying as possible, but does get knocked out at the same time, and multiple members of Wings are going down. They're just ripping right through them. EnVyUs like a hot knife through butter. Taimu not even having to use that attack visor, has it to hold off a last-ditch push from Wings, but with the staggers coming through, as Envy does die, it is not looking good for them. A very swift take on point A. Plenty of time in the bank. A very fast shove to get around that, second to last corner, but can't get further than that. Really good, just turnaround fights from EnVyUs.
Yeah, the train feels like it's out of steam now. We've seen some desync spawns from Rhinos Gaming Wings as they get too aggressive and get picked by Effect, who's constantly marauding around, looking for those kills. Taimu still holds on to this. Unfortunately, he's found already, though. He pops attack visor.
He's knocked in behind the team, so now has a bit of an angle. You see the drop down does come through from Fury to try to block as much as he possibly can, but while the rest of the fight is broken out, Fury goes back into the mech, doesn't get anything with that self-destruct, dashes forward, is able to take out Taimu, but Envy and Mango Hope both died. Envy is only losing the soldiers so far. Self-destruct thrown down by Mickey. Can he find anything? Yes, he can! Double kill comes through as Fury and Oxo both get taken out, and now it's just a desperate scramble to stick onto the payload from the side of Wings, but no one nearby cannot possibly do it. They can't make it to point B.
Really good defense there by EnVyUs. The start was definitely rough. Like, they struggled to get a foothold on that defensive position, but when they were allowed to use Effect to get into the back lines, pick off Umte several times, force him to turn around. We talked about this a lot last week against Meta Athena. We saw the very similar Tracer effect coming out from Effect. This forces the Reinhardt to turn around, so even if the Pulse Bomb doesn't kill him immediately, if he's not low enough, the teammates, the DPS, will come behind you and grab that kill. So now this could be an easy push for EnVyUs as they move on to attack. But Envy also on the Zarya held that Graviton Surge for so long. Probably could have had multiple if she had used it earlier, but was so worried, obviously, about Mickey's Defense Matrix eating that Graviton. And it feels like one of the reasons why Rhinos Gaming is having so much trouble is they've flexed the Tracer between 3 players, Envy, Mango, and Oxo, whereas you look at Effect, he's a much better Tracer than all 3 of them, but he's only played Tracer. It's the only hero he's shown in this tournament. He's not flexed off of it for a second, and I mean, it really shows when you have the Tracer main versus 3 kind of half Tracers.
I do want to say, I don't think that Envy had to necessarily use the Graviton Surge. He definitely would have had opportunities to use multiple, but the problem is that the bigger bang that they went for didn't really pay off. They only got the 1 pick in on the Coco when they used it, so it didn't have that grandiose effect that you really want to see from that big combo coming through. So when they finally used it, it just didn't do what it needed to. So I understand the restraint from Envy. I think that he needs to be a bit more ruthless when it comes down to this defense, because Wings need to hold point A as long as humanly possible.
Well, it's going to be the Taimu Widow to start us off here. We'll see how long he sticks with it, but world renowned, here we go. Going to actually be super aggressive with it. Already Umte blocking, but he's going to try to wear that down. Decides to back off for the better of it with this comp. Just not going to be able to find an angle.
See what he wants to go for. It's going to be the soldier yet again here. Harry, good guy Lucio kites back. Just give him that speed up. Make sure they can operate as a team. Push forward here.
Look at Effect's position. He was actually trying to jump off of the high ground to harass. Actually gets the recall back up here. And he
really
is just
timed.
He's marauding around, just trying to find kills, trying to find any sort of ticks here on his ultimate.
Already EnVyUs. They're going to go ahead, be able to push forward in onto the point. Effect still just trying to reach these tanks. He can just absorb these bullets as he builds up for that pulse bomb. The first one going to be game-breaking here for EnVyUs as they look to just go ahead and take that second tick already. Take goes down as Chip snipes him out. Discord Orb's already doing work for this triple tank composition on the side of Wings. They lose out on Fury as well. A very fast cap here for EnVyUs. 5.5 minutes in the time bank for them.
If you notice how Effect plays, he'll look for a pick, but he doesn't force the issue like this.
Bomb
Okay, he's
comes
gonna get
down.
it this time, but when he looks for these picks, when he goes very deep into the back lines, if it doesn't work out, he just starts dropping off free damage, and he doesn't go all the way, and he just shoots at anybody he can, which forces a big reaction from the Wings, and that's when EnVyUs comes in. That's when Taimu's free to do that damage from the high ground on certain maps, on this map, and finish off targets. And it's just the ability to shift between hyper-aggression and just ult building from Effect. As you can see here, looks for the pick. Oh, I can't get him. I'm just going to back off and get whatever I can. Force the reaction. It looks like Fury's kind of been put into babysitting duty here. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, I don't have to go all the way in. I'm just going to harass here. Build some meter.
Almost takes out Amy right off the start of that one. You can see the Transcendence coming through as they push forward. Amy finally going down. Effect is looking for another pulse bomb, but honestly, might not even get the opportunity to have it because EnVyUs is already so very close to finishing off this map and taking match point. Chips and Taimu do get an answer for it, but Mickey comes up with a double kill, and the sound barrier comes down, buying some time. Barrier there, able to absorb the majority of that.
Kills him before he
self-destruct,
remix.
takes out Fury, and the payload's just rolling into the station. Very swift victory for EnVyUs. Match point now in their hands. They might just have another extremely swift 3-0 here tonight, Wolf.
It may well be Achilleos, and Effect is just finding these angles over and over and over again. We've been following his first-person view, and I do want to just continue to highlight is just how he goes in the back line, looks for those big picks, look for the pulse bomb. When he has a pulse bomb, he tries to blow up the supports, right? When he doesn't have it, he can still get a kill, but if things start to look sour, he goes into this mid-range tracer poke where no, he's not doing the maximum damage, but he's building ult meter, and he's forcing a reaction. He's forcing Fury to go back, or he's forcing other members to go and chase him down. Then he escapes, and EnVyUs has gained distance already during that duration. So just a very annoying tracer to deal with, and with the three tracers, Oxo, Envy, and Mango on the side of Rhinos, I want to reiterate the one tracer on EnVyUs Effect. It just feels like it's 3 times as good as any of them individually.
Yeah. It's been one hell of a performance here from Effect, from EnVyUs as a whole. Really good stuff for these guys. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the play of the game. It's going to be Mickey on his namesake Diva. Self-destruct comes down.
There's a good angle here in the archway. Unsuspecting victims there. Yep. So he gets a 6 self-destruct. Pretty textbook there from Mickey. One of the best divas in the world.
I mean, we're used to this from him for
Yeah.
sure. Just throwing those down.
Won an Apex championship off that hero. See if he can win a second title here. Well, this looks to be a dominant first 2 games here as we go into 2-point capture. We're going to have a short commercial break before that. We'll see you guys in just a few.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
The Wings are on their last life potentially in this group, in this tournament here. If EnVyUs takes another map and 3-0s them, their record will be abysmal. And they're just having a rough time against the Western team that's come back with a vengeance. And now they have to play two-point capture, which is a known weakness in the past for Western teams, but EnVyUs specifically started their comeback on this map type with the Volskaya just last week, showing chips on the Sombra. And I feel like Rhino's definitely going to be frustrated. Like, we saw Bunny destroy Umte on BK Stars in that matchup, and Effect is doing just the same. They're worried for this team, Achilleos.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very earned concern, you'd have to say, for the side of Wings. I mean, they're still goofing off here in the booth, so that is good to see. Actually goofing off now that they're down 2 maps compared to when the start of the series, when they hadn't even lost anything. So a bit of a reverse there as far as emotions would go, but maybe the break has gotten them back into good spirits. We saw Volskaya for these guys. This is where Rhinos were able to pick up their wing versus BK Stars. This was the quad DPS that we had seen from them on attack, running that McCree Soldier Sombra Tracer combo, and actually swapping to Widow for that second point. So they, maybe we see them run that. We'll have to see how EnVyUs wants to counter if that is what's going to come out.
Effect has definitely been the focus of EnVyUs there, having him go and disrupt the backlines, which gives Taimu so much room to breathe and gives Mickey more opportunities to harass even in the Diva. So saw an amazing reason from him already. This team just looks to be on form today with everything they practiced, and Volskaya, they crushed it last time when they faced Meta Athena. We'll see if they can do it again. Rhinos Gaming Wings has the gall to pick it against them here after that destructive force we saw chips on the Sombra just last week. The Rhinos Gaming Wings, they have the confidence to pick this. It's their last hope here. They're going to have to win this and 2 other maps. And they do it, Achilleos. We're going to find out right now as we go into game number 3, potentially the last match of the evening. EnVyUs versus Rhinos Gaming Wings here at Apex Season 3.
get it.
EnVyUs fans holding on strong. There in the audience, still cheering for our second foreign team here today.
They look dominant so far as we head into Volskaya. The Wings have said in the past, press interviews, and stream, Twitter, things like that, that they don't like this map type, especially with the rise of Sombra, and yet they still pick it into Chips' Sombra, as he's already locked it in here on the defense. And I think that's definitely going to be kept, as Effect is teasing us on the platform.
He's going for a ride.
Going for a ride, magic carpet ride, basically. It's not magic, it's just made by Volskaya Industries, but for the purposes of this reference, I think that's actually Effect's brother, if I read the sign correctly earlier, like his literal brother, family brother, blood brother in the crowd there. Because, sometimes you don't use that term in Korea, but the way it said there, Shinhyung, means his actual older brother. Oh, we're going to see this tactic again. It's time for the ice skating event. Now,
It's the most ridiculous looking thing.
So both of these abilities, obviously, they're starting their cooldown as you activate them, so they're going to have an extra jump and an extra thrust after jumping off of that roof.
Like Effect might have been spotted there by Oxo. He's opening up here with the Attack Tracer. Effect comes and says hi, dashes straight in onto his face. Drop down the poison trap, but Oxo, aha, I'm behind you. Takes him down. Nice first blood coming through for Effect.
So the reason why you see those heroes up in the roof is because you get an extra boost, you get an extra jump, which adds a little bit extra damage for the combo. But obviously the first push was already ruined by Oxo being picked off. They're going to reset here and try to go for the second floor push, which is kind of the soft counter to the Sombra, as we've seen so many times already. Luxury Watch Blue really showing us that from the beginning of the group stage. Chips already has this EMP.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. He'll have it again in a second. Just watch.
Well, Effect gets taken down. They find that kill, but it's about the best thing that's happened so far for Wings. Chips pushing forward, drops down that EMP, and already the pickoffs come through as Envy goes down. Coco able to take out Umte. They do lose Harry Hook on the exchange, but Wings still going to be stopped out, so EnVyUs hold firm on this point A.
Envy saves his EMP. Use it against EnVyUs here.
He's already at 40%.
46. Chips has, he's going to have another one by the time Envy can even use his, very likely. What in the world? Okay, they're just waiting for the reset here of everyone respawning.
Okay, the push back in. Envy needs to land a really big EMP here.
Yeah.
And even then, there's many pieces to be picked up from the rest of the team here for Wings.
It's going to be the translocator attempt. There it is, the high ground EMP from the sky, but it doesn't look like it did too much here.
Drop in. They are able to pop Mickey out of that mech, and actually Oxo comes with a kill onto Coco, so both the tanks taken out from EnVyUs. Time of building up towards that. Attack visor doesn't quite have it. The pulse bomb comes through from Effect, actually takes down Umte, so buying some more time here for EnVyUs as they just try to hold on to the point. There's 2 minutes left on the clock for Wings, and with those couple picks coming through, they lose that posture forward and actually get stomped out. Multiple members going down to the backside. Time who uses the attack visor comes up with multiple kills, taking out the Sombra and that Diva in the end.
One of the best heroes that pairs with the hacked health packs is going to be the Tracer, because Tracer is so annoying, has a very low health pool, but can recall back into the health pack. It builds up Chips. He's got another EMP. In effect, just having that hacked health pack defensively, the defensive Sombra is always going to have the advantage in that regard. And Rhino's Gaming Wings does have a lot of ults built up for this next push, but they could just be counteracted by an EMP. Speaking of which, Chips drops it down.
Yeah, does toss that one out. Taimu just firing away from where he can. Rest of the team playing very far forward. Fury gets knocked out of that mech. That goes low. Doesn't have the recall available, so actually gets taken out as Oxo takes him out with those Helix rockets. Mango coming around the back side here. Drops down onto the low ground. Let's retreat, get himself back out to safety. So the rest of the team to begin pushing forward. Still haven't gotten much done onto this first point yet. They pops that Primal Rage, so pushing forward. Finally get a little bit coming through. Bit of a percentage built up. Self-destruct down. Not going to find anything here.
Okay, EMP, who can use it first? It's going to be Chips who has it first. He drops it down. That's going to prevent Envy from using his. He's hacked by that EMP.
And they just run right forward with that Transcendence, and they just start ripping through Effect. Multiple kills coming down, and Wings lose out yet again. 35 seconds. All that they have on the clock with just an EMP.
And you have to wonder why pick this map at EnVyUs when they've shown amazing Sombra play so many times. Oh, knocked off here by the jump is Oxo. That's going to desync his spawn. With only 22 seconds left on the clock, this may just be game over. Could be the full hold for EnVyUs. You can just see why I was so reluctant for them to pick this map against EnVyUs, who's shown the strategy literally last week. They've perfected it. EnVyUs going to have one more EMP because he got hacked last time from his opponent's EMP.
It's not really working out so far. We'll see. Envy goes ahead, drops down that EMP, but Amy's going to be the first one to fall. They find a kill onto Coco, onto Harry Hook. Could this be the opening that they need? Taimu gets jumped on by the enemy Winston, takes him out in time, but does get taken down by Oxo in the exchange. In on to overtime. They need to tag the point. Back into the mech goes Fury. He's going to have to buy a hell of a lot for his squad as he pushes in. Chips throwing down an EMP yet again. Goes low. Almost gets taken out. Misses the translocator. Can he make it out? No, he cannot. Gets taken down by Fury in the baby diva form. As he was popped out there, Effect popping him with that pulse bomb. Now that bought enough time for the rest of the Wings to come forward. Mickey getting taken out. Chip's dead as well, just now respawning as they start sprinting their way back in. They're going to try to contest this as best as possible. Oxo having the tag visor coming through, trying to lock down. Effect won't quite find it, but Envy is there to pick up the kill. Second tick comes through, and EnVyUs should just go ahead and concede this. So the cap finally happens in overtime for Wings, but not a whole lot in the time bank for them to get this second point.
They keep their hopes alive. Mango with that double there. Things were looking disastrous before that as the respawns were coming in quicker for EnVyUs. I thought perhaps that was just going to simply be the retake and the full hold. Mango saves the day here. Gives me a salute for calling him out on that one as he's going for the back door push. No angle just yet. Just harassing for that pulse bomb. EnVyUs going to have another EMP available. So will Envy, though. It's kind of a game of chicken in a lot of ways. Here it comes first.
Yeah, they drop it down. The shield's taken off a Harry Hook, and he immediately falls as MT just takes them down. Sound barrier thrown out here from the side of Wings, and Envy is just getting ripped through.
They've got several ults, so they need
as best as he can. He's trying to build up for this one.
They need to come out right now with those ults. Chips needs to drop down that EMP.
That goes low, gets taken out. Yeah, MD finds him on the flank, takes him up, and now Chips comes in, drops his EMP, takes out the translocator, pops over, takes up the health pack, but there's just too many people stuck on top of him. Amy rather, comes up with that kill, and Mango on top of the point gets rid of Harry Hook. They're still able to posture forward, almost have that second tick coming through, and it's just EnVyUs constantly chaining themselves in and out of the point, delaying as much as they possibly can. Chips sitting in the invisibility there, buying a little bit of time, will get left on by Umte. Looks like he takes himself out to safety right at the last second. Oxo with the tag visor, firing away, trying to buy more time. Sound barrier down by Amy as they just keep trying to stop this out. 2.5 minutes on the clock as EnVyUs desperately tries to hold on, but it just doesn't seem likely. They get taken down. Last-ditch effort by Coco, but he's already been killed. Chips to follow. The cap will come through. What a fiesta. 2 minutes, 14 seconds on the clock. The finish comes through from Rhinos Gaming Wings.
Both Sombras really focused on the Diva a lot of the time for the cap there, like looking for removing the Diva, venting the defense matrix, just knocking them out of the mech there at the end. And Mickey wanted to drop down that last self-destruct, was knocked out of the mech immediately there with the EMP. That last push came down to the EMP was used first by Envy, and of course I'm talking about the Sombra player on the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings. He dropped down the EMP first, got them that big 4-5-man wipe, and then let them to control the point and kill the trickled spawns. It's very difficult to buy time with a Diva when the Sombra is constantly hacking you and preventing you from using defense matrix, just knocking you out of that mech. And the push snowballed from there. So a rough start for Rhinos Gaming, but they do get that second cap with 2 minutes to spare. We'll see if EnVyUs is bold enough to run attack Sombra as well. So far, looks like Chips is leaning more towards the Ana. We'll definitely see Envy, the player, running this on the defense now. As you can see here.
Yeah, they're going to be doing this strat again with Mango in onto the Torbjorn. Should be sticking with this. Don't think they're going to swap it out. See what EnVyUs wants to run as we get a bit closer to the start of their attack. It was a very nice delay on that first point, but now they have to go to the distance. They have to close things out. Certainly not the position that they wanted to be in. Wings. I mean, it just didn't look like they were going to be able to have it with that first cap. And it seemed like the first hold, but in the end, they're able to pick it up.
Well, it's just such is the wonky nature of Sombra versus Sombra, man, in terms of where the EMP goes down, who uses it first. Sometimes you want to use it second, but usually you want to get it off first with a big one so that you kill the other Sombra. She can't EMP. So EnVyUs with the aggressive take here with the 2-2-2.
It's going to be Mickey in on the Winston and Coco onto the Reinhardt, actually. So changing things up a little
Hack
bit.
onto
The hack
Coco.
comes through, and they already take him out. Yeah, and Envy comes up with that kill. Now Mickey having to kite back. Biotic Grenade comes through, just help keep him alive. Envy just keeps firing away, spraying blindly into the room, but still comes up with so much ult charge. 80% for him. EMP going to be coming through very swiftly.
Hey, Taimu just not building anything right now. Really nice defensive bubble here once again from Umte. He's really on point, not in positioning, but I feel like in terms of his barriers that he's planted all series long. Okay, Envy has this EMP. He's going to wait and be patient or wants to make sure he's hidden. They know he's in there, it looks like, pretty confidently.
Yeah, I think they spotted him out, but they have at least some idea that he's going to be in the vicinity. Jumps up with the translocator.
Kind of have to be on the high ground to make sure you get that EMP off. Envy actually very low. Uses the translocator to try to survive. We'll get in there and get healed. Time getting
goes
closer.
down. Flame Strike comes through from Coco. They find the kill. He does go down though as Fury finds the kill, but still it's going to be EnVyUs coming out on top. 4 kills to 2. Taimu now down onto the lower ground, just firing away, trying to get rid of that Torbjorn turret, delay that ultimate from coming through. They're able to do so. In fact, tosses out the pulse bomb. Not going to find a stick, but just soak them back into the garage as the cap is coming through here for EnVyUs. 2.5 minutes just about as they'll complete this cap.
Fury
even get a nice little stagger in onto Fury.
Yeah, he's so zoned out there. There's nothing he can do. Can't even delay. And so a 4-minute lead in terms of time right now. It was overtime.
Ready to go.
Yeah, and it was overtime for the Wings when they did get that cap. So they basically got the double cap in order to get this time bank. But EnVyUs has so much more to work with now.
I mean, they need one hell of a defense here. Envy almost has that EMP ready to go, and Mango has that Molten Core all set. That comes through. As you can see, Mickey jumping forward. The Primal Rage thrown down. It's going to be the sound barrier from both sides, but actually Coco's going to be the first one to fall. Molten Core popped out of here from Mango. Just a delay and buy plenty of time for his team. They will do so, but
this is so good for EnVyUs because now they have so many more ults. Rhinos had to use basically everything they had there. The EMP coming off, the sound barrier, the Molten Core. Now EnVyUs has 4 ults available. Yes, they did waste their sound barrier, but otherwise, even if they use all these 4 and fail, they've got such a large time bank to build 6 again. So this is a big win, a good trade for EnVyUs.
Yeah, the Molten Core and the sound barrier from Wings is going to be the most crucial one. Obviously, Envy going to have that EMP up very swiftly. But EnVyUs have quite a bit to work with right now.
Recall!
Comes down, double! Oh, it's not a double kill. All right, sorry. I got ahead of myself there, but they get the turret, and they get rid of Mango. So still effect coming up pretty big there with that placement. They take him out. Mickey actually gets taken down by that self-destruct, and Coco falls. So both the tanks here from EnVyUs are suffering heavy losses. Effect trades one back in onto Umte. Envy has that EMP ready to go, does throw it down. They find those answering kills. Looks like they will find Harry Hook as Taimu jumps off the side, so all of EnVyUs just trying to retreat.
Big question is, will Mango actually stay on the Mei?
And the early pop-off on that.
That's all right. I mean, that was a sick recall pulse bomb there. He knew exactly the positioning. He knew there's no way to actually counterplay that with a recall. Mango looks like he will actually stay on to the Mei here, so it was kind of a panic Mei there, desperation, but he wants to keep using it, in fact.
It's fantastic for the delay, so there's not really a reason to swap off of that one. You see Effect just going through, just takes him out, making sure he can't build up for that. Blizzard, yeah, Earthshatter does come down, locks up multiple members, 3 already dead on the side of Wings, and Envy goes down as well. EnVyUs full 6 members posturing forward, get the first tick. We'll see how long Wings can delay. You can see Amy sitting up into that high ground, waiting to go down, but the Flame Strike comes through, takes him low.
Oh, Amy trying to heal himself up here.
Yeah, that's going to be Mickey just jumping in, just keeping him off the point. He goes low, barely stays alive, finally gets taken down by Effect. As EnVyUs are so close to getting this cap. Massive EMP dropped in by Envy. Gets slept darted, gets taken out immediately.
Just too little too late here, Achilleos. Oxo the last one standing, trying to get in there. Can't even do it. And that's going to be a whole minute and a half extra that EnVyUs will have as we go to tiebreaker rounds. Look, I mean, Effect just comes in and harasses, forces that ice block out, and then just kills Mei right after. It's like, oh, you already used your ice block. You don't exist to me.
Yeah.
And maybe perhaps having a more mobile hero there, as Mango's applying a little bit of everything today. It's hard to say like what his main role is anymore. Perhaps would have been better when you have such a good Tracer harassing there. And basically, Mei is kind of out of the meta. We see her on emergency defenses only, and on 2-point capture exclusively. Sometimes on like an Ike involved or something like that, right? But Didn't work out there in the end, and I don't want to pin this all on Mango trying to play Mei. It was just Effect playing way better, and the hacks coming in for Envy, they were desperate. EnVyUs has already gotten so many kills. I don't think this is going to be attack Sombra, but a man can dream. Or sorry, not Sombra, Symmetra. Will still likely be the attack Sombra. They ran it last time.
That would be wildly impressive if we saw that one come through. Amy swapping over on to that Ana, so we'll be seeing a Widowmaker flex coming out from him. Meantime, still just going to be that triple DPS, so...
Ice skaters!
Yep, they're just chilling out yet again. Oh, but Mickey fell off.
Oh, you messed it up.
All right, well, push coming through. Get the 2-1-3, actually, from Wings, that triple DPS to tank. Solo heals as they start to wrap around to the right side, getting that high ground. Just now spot Coco, he drops it, immediately gets taken down. Amy finds him with that boob, just rips right through him. Not able to do a damn thing, and now it's all going to be on Mickey to soak up this damage.
Yeah, Oxo is so well protected here now, and has a free reign of DPS. Always checking his back to see if Effect is going to come around the corner. Just the threat of Effect's existence is going to be an issue for him. Taimu, though, is protected here as well, with these Discord orbs doing a lot of damage.
Mickey gets popped out of the Mac, though. Should be taken out swiftly. He's kiting around a little bit, trying to get back into that one. Taimu down to 2 HP. Gets healed back up, but the hits come through in the end, and he does go down. Fury finding that kill. As Wings, they get a little bit there accrued, but can't make it towards that first tick. EnVyUs to hold on to this. 1 minute and 13 seconds on the clock here for Wings. Desperately need to get this cap.
All right, looking for the Tracer battle here with the hacked health pack. Kind of annoying, but
we know how this
doesn't
one
even,
goes.
He doesn't even need to worry about it. See you later, Mango. Remember, it's the one Tracer versus the 3. He's just the better Tracer, and no one's ever going to dispute that after this best of 5.
He doesn't even break a sweat in that one. So, same ultimates mirrored here from Wings and EnVyUs, EMP and Pulse Bomb.
Well, he made the last trick EMP work, got it first. Can he do it again? He's got the Translocator, going to come in for the sneak attack from behind. Looking for the pick onto Harry, gets him immediately there with Oxo. Now they've got this high ground angle. Is this the push?
EMP goes really low. EMP comes out, answered from the side of EnVyUs, but still suffering heavy losses. Taimu sitting inside the garage, just firing off from the sidelines. Trying to get as much work done as he possibly can. Has the attack visor ready to go, will pop it. Umte very low, pushes up into his face, gets taken out in the end, finds the double kill onto Fury, and now it's just 10 seconds left with 3 members still waiting to respawn on the side of Wings.
Yeah, this looks like this is going to be it for this push. Envy wants to do one last delay here while cloaked. Already found here now, though. Chip's going to help harass him. Overtime's ticking down. They need to get onto the point. Barrier's already planted for Coco.
But Envy's been taken out. Didn't even accrue much as far as the EMP is concerned. Transcendence coming down here from Harry Hook, keeping them alive. Self-destruct tossed out by Fury. Not going to find a damn thing. 4 members dead on the side of Wings. Nobody there to tag. That will be the full hold in the second round on Volskaya. EnVyUs coming up huge. Just now need to get that 33% tag.
This feels like EnVyUs is just positioned better oftentimes. Like, you could see the ideas coming in from the Wings. Like, let's kill the Zenyatta. This has been a problem. The Discord Orb's giving Taimu so much extra damage. They commit everything to killing him. Well, the Taimu's uncontested and kills everybody else while they're not being babysat properly. They're on the high ground, up on that balcony. So, saw a lot of cool tactics here and pick-off attempts, but the Tracer is better on the side of EnVyUs. Effect is the better Tracer, and I could say that his effect on this game is greater. Kilios. I don't know, we got Envy and got EnVyUs. It's been a long night for me in terms of names and saying words, but we'll see what the plan is here now on attack for EnVyUs, because obviously they only need the 1 tick. Well, this is going to be a lot of time to work with. Mango once again running this Torbjorn defense with Envy on the Tracer. Which leaves just Oxo to be the kind of sole main DPS here. As obviously Torbjorn and Sombra are kind of hybrid-esque in a way. It would be cool if you could see the attack Bastion, but...
Oh, please, Taimu.
That's reserved for World Cup when South Korea is playing.
All right, well, it looks like Taimu is going to open up. You know, he's had some very big highlight reel-esque plays with this Widowmaker, especially on Volskaya. Going to be opening up yet again with it, at least to start, as they push through. Everybody from Wings playing back, playing hidden. Umte up on that high ground as EnVyUs starts wrapping around the left-hand flank. Let's find Effect for a second, but he gets that recall off, takes himself out to safety.
Okay, angle here for Effect at the back line. He's actually very low. Will actually go and get the heal though.
He's zapping from below where he can. Drops back and pick up that health pack. Pouring in that ulti charge for Envy. 50%.
Actually kind of getting harassed here by the Sombra. He ends up getting taken out there. So nice pick for Envy, but the turret does go down. Effect actually during this window of time does find that. Envy does have an EMP, needs to drop it now right before he dies.
Yeah, drops it down, and Harry Hook's going to be the first one to fall. Mickey following suit very swiftly after, and EnVyUs should be stopped in their tracks on that push. Nice little wraparound there by Envy, harassing Taimu on the backside.
Rhino's Gaming Wings still has potentially that Molten Core. They're very close to getting that. The sound barrier, so they have a lot of tools here. It was very clutch that Envy was able to get that EMP off right before dying to translocate away. Taimu just not willing to switch, which is kind of an interesting issue. The idea is Effect is harassing the backline that gives Taimu the opportunity to harass anyone who's not looking the right direction. Oh, sleep here onto Envy. That's going to be a late desync spawn and no EMP for the defense.
Yeah, they just curb stomped him right there. This little sleep dart coming out from Chips, buying them some time. Now Effect poking in from the backside. Doesn't quite have a pulse bomb. Build went up very swiftly, however. It's just a firing squad on the staircase to go forward. Find Amy and Oxo, taking him out. Taimu goes down on the other side of the fight. The Molten Core coming through here from Mango, buying a lot of time for himself, but will die in the end.
Self-destruct too, gonna buy a lot. There's the sound barrier. Envy tries to come out with the EMP.
EMP comes through from Envy, just trying to buy time, gets taken out in
He's
the
alone.
end. And now Wings have to just pour into the point as quickly as they possibly can. Umte, the last-ditch effort with a primal rage. Amy getting booped off, won't be able to find it. 33% comes through for EnVyUs, and they will take this set out. 2-3-0s here tonight. 2.5 hours of broadcast time, Wolf. One of the fastest casts I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, same. Well, with that win, again, you challenge this team on Volskaya, and I feel like you're asking to get burned. After what we saw last week, it was a bold move by the Wings, and it definitely backfired. They did get the double capture early on. They weren't able to save that momentum, though, into the tiebreaker rounds, where it just seemed EnVyUs had their number, had the ability to adapt to how Envy was playing the Sombra. It felt like it was straight up standard play on this map from EnVyUs, and Rhino's Gaming Wings just trying to trick their way in with these unique pushes. The EMP going in to try to kill the Zenyatta. We saw these hidden Sombra where she's just kind of hiding and hoping for the best there, whereas EnVyUs was just more reactionary and took the better play overall. And now EnVyUs will take first place in terms of standings